Hi.
Hey.
Hi, everyone. You're here at the live Q&A with OK Student. With me, Mariana. I am the head of advisors, and we're here today with
Trish. Hi, guys. I'm a new advisor at OK Student, so I'll be looking forward to hearing all your questions and also sharing my story.
Let's challenge Trish a bit with some difficult questions today.
Good.
Don't forget, if you have any questions, ask them in the comments below. Let us know what you think. Let us know how lockdown's going for you. We want to know everything. And if you want to apply for a university in the UK, please fill in our form at okstudent.co.uk/form.
Fantastic.
Great times. So Trish, tell us a bit about you. Like, what uni are you studying at? Like, how did you come across OK Student? Like, give me your intro.
My intro. So I am going into third year at Nottingham Trent University. I'm doing business management and marketing. I'm also part of an actors society, and I was a student mentor in my second year. This is all leading up to how I came across OK Student. So I was at a placement fair that you guys came to, placement and graduate jobs fair, and I bumped into 80, I think it was, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah,
He has been with us for a while.
must have been, yeah. And I just asked if you guys did internships for the summer because I was looking for a summer internship and not a year-long thing because I just wanted to go straight into my third year. Then he said to me, our manager Nick is just on his lunch break, but he'll have more answers for your questions. Do you have a LinkedIn? Well, first he asked, do I have Instagram? And at this point, I deleted Instagram. Then he said, do you have, LinkedIn was the next. And I was like, oh, I do actually have LinkedIn, thankfully.
Nice.
Yeah. So in my LinkedIn information, I must have had that I was in an actors and also a student mentor. So he said, oh, we have people that work as ambassadors and student advisors. So maybe you'd be interested because you already do something quite similar through the mentoring thing. But come back after about 30 minutes and speak to Nick, the manager. And I was like, okay. So I went round again, came back, met Nick, who was just amazing, had this vision for OK Student that he briefly shared with me. And I really liked what it was all about. So I was like, oh, this would be amazing, especially because I could represent my home country, Zimbabwe, but also relate to the fact that I go to a university in the UK, and I've grown up here as well, like 50-50 here in Zimbabwe.
That must have been a really interesting experience as well, growing up in between two countries.
Yeah. It's like you don't really belong anywhere. I feel like I probably belong here the most because I went to school here like half of my last 2 years of primary school and then high school and stuff. But also going back home, I feel like I belong there as well, because the culture, I can relate to it and stuff. But I just think it's something you have to be able to bridge between the two cultures because you don't technically belong anywhere. So have to make them.
Do you feel like that helped you in general to like adapt to more different cultures?
Definitely, yeah, definitely, because it was quite difficult when I first moved here, and we actually lived in Sheffield for like 9 months, and there was just no diversity at all. So
Sheffield's a great city though, but I recognize that it does have its diversity.
Yeah. But it's better now, especially the universities. University is like the most diverse place in the UK, I would say. So now it doesn't really matter, but at the time it was quite difficult adapting to like British culture, and having no diversity, and then going back to visit Zimbabwe while I was still quite young, but I'd also adapted to this culture a bit. Was a bit tricky, but it did help in terms of making friends and just stepping out of your comfort zone all the time.
Exactly. That's exactly it. So I'm guessing you must have like really good tips for students who are going through a bit of a culture shock? Because I'm assuming that's what you went through a bit as well.
Yeah. I feel like it's an ongoing process as well. Like when you first come here, you are going to have a major culture shock because everything is completely different to what you're probably used to. Even coming from a European background, I would say it would still be quite different. But every year that you'll come, I think you'll probably get that sense again that, oh my goodness, this is a new environment. So I think the best thing to do is just to embrace the experience that you're in and not be anxious about it, because most of the time everyone's in the same boat anyway. Even if they're from the UK, it's their first year at uni, first time away from home, first time having to do things by themselves. So just being calm about it and realizing everyone's going through the same thing, and then also just trying to step out and make friends from different areas, different backgrounds that you probably have never encountered before. That will help you with the easing of things, because you can also share your culture, they share theirs, and so on and so on.
Exactly. So you kind of don't have the same home comforts, but you end up finding new comforts also based on like everyone else's like feeling. And I think I like what you said about everyone being on the same boat, and like the first year is absolutely true. Everyone's trying to like make do and learn what they can about like this new culture and this new country. And like, even if you are British, you are going to go through that because potentially you came from your parents' home, you're in a completely new context, like trying to make friends and really having that like social anxiety of like, oh my God, I'm the only person in this situation really does not apply in the first year of university. You can go ahead and cry in like someone's shoulder because you miss home, because they will like 99% of the times feel exactly the same way.
Yeah, exactly. That would be a nice bonding experience, like crying about being homesick.
Man, vulnerability is the best.
Yeah, exactly. But it's an exciting time starting university, so it's really about embracing the situation.
Definitely. Are you going back? So did you just finish your third year, or are you going from the second to the third year now?
Yeah, I'm going into my third year now, so I just finished second year.
How do you feel like about like going back now in September?
Well, by September it would have been such a long time since I was actually physically at uni.
Oh, yeah.
The last time I was in uni was mid-March. So just being so used to having seminars online, communicating through emails, having to sort of find your own help. Tutors have been really supportive. But the fact that you can't just walk into Student Services Centre and get help, or go to the library and get a book, or even just sit there and be motivated by other people doing work to do your own work. I think it would be nice to go back and have that again.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine that everyone's looking very forward to that. So guys, do let us know if you have interesting experiences with like culture shock, or if you just want to share with us how excited you are to be back on campus. Do comment below if you have any questions as well. Yeah, and that's it. Thank you to everyone who's watching. And you're here with Mariana, Head of Advisors at OK Student, and
Trish, a new advisor at OK Student. I need to have as much energy as you.
Fanny, it's like you grow into it. You grow into your energy in these things.
Yeah.
So we do have a question from Milena asking, what is the most amazing thing to you about studying in the UK?
Oh, I would say the amount of opportunities that you get when you're over here. You can literally join societies about things that you've probably been curious about before, but never had the opportunity to either study or learn from people that are already in the industry, network with people in the industry. Say you're doing something like, I don't know, medicine, but you're also interested in like gaming. You could join the gaming society and learn all about coding or the funness of gaming. I don't know why I use that example because I don't know anything about gaming.
Honestly, the coolest society I think is at NTU is the cocktail mixing society, where you just learn to like make cocktails. And for me, that's such a great idea because like at a certain point, you're going to need that skill. I wanted to have that skill. I was like, oh, yes, this is everything I want.
Exactly, yeah. And you just get like a big, huge access to networks that you probably never had before. And I really think that if you make the most of the opportunities that are presented to you, you will really get the most out of university. I remember um, when I came to uni, I was 2 weeks late because I'd taken like an extended gap year. And I remember one of the lectures was you get out of university what you put in. So if you put an effort to get out of your comfort zone, you're going to get a lot out of university. And because at that point I had no friends, so I was like, I need to join a society as soon as possible so that I can get in the mix of things. And once I realized that really you do get exactly what you put in.
Yeah, that's such a good point, is like you get out of university exactly what you put in. I think that's exactly how we should embrace this experience. That is an amazing point, is like literally if you attend your classes, if you try hard, then you're going to get good grades. If you put in like time for extracurriculars, then you're going to get a better CV. You're going to get more friends if you like engage with like the university. If you ask them for help, they're there for you. And it really is based on that, of like putting in investment in order to gain more in the long run.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that having extracurricular activities to do, even if it's nothing to do with your course, motivates you when it comes to things to do with your course, because you can maybe plan your time better around having different things to do, and just meeting other people that are at university maybe that have some study tips or whatever it might be. It just helps the whole experience be more wholesome, I think is the word. Yeah.
Exactly, completely. It helps our well-being as well to not be focused on just this one thing continuously and be able to like take breaks from it. And I mean, things like the cocktail mixing society are great because of this. And like the gaming society, it's the same thing. We had a Harry Potter society at like Anglia Ruskin, as well as a pirate society, which is like the silliest thing ever. But it's like, it's perfect because you're in this high stress environment. And if you want to chill, then there are ways you can chill. And like, it would look pretty cool on your CV to be able to say that you were the president of the Pirate Society at like your university.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
It would definitely be a reason to at least call you in for an interview, because I want to hear that story.
To wonder what that was like. Exactly.
Yeah, there was a lot of rum involved.
Oh, you were part of the Pirate Society?
No, I was not a part of the Pirate Society. I was, however, a part of Enactus while I was at Anglia Ruskin University. So I wanted to ask you if you want to elaborate a bit on what Enactus is as well, and how students can get involved, because I loved my experience and I think it's really interesting what Enactus is trying to do.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. So we're a student-led organization, and we come up with projects, if you want to call them, or small businesses, social enterprises, however you want to word it, that help the community. And they're normally based around the UN Sustainable Development Goals. So you know how the UN have this long list of goals that they want to achieve by 2030, such as zero hunger, equal opportunities, zero poverty, quality education. The list is endless. So you come up with normally a group of beneficiaries and find out what their needs are. And then as a group of students, you then come up with a project that can somehow help them. And also, if it makes money, that's a bonus, because then it's just a sustainable project which pays for itself and continues going. So that's the summary, but you get loads of business and entrepreneurial experience. You get to network with like-minded people, because I was quite interested in charity work before I'd heard of this society, but I also studied business, like I mentioned earlier. So when I heard of Enactus, I was like, this is how I can really merge the two, and do what I love and also be helping other people.
A bit of like socially focused entrepreneurship in the end.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. That's exactly.
Yeah. I think it's like one of the really cool things you can do in university, and definitely everything else is just like getting more and more opportunities and getting more and more out of your uni experience, like whatever that might mean for you.
Exactly.
Hi to RTM, who's saying hi from Facebook. Hi to everyone who's joining us now. I'm here with
Trish.
Trish's. Sorry?
I was just saying a new advisor, OK student.
Exactly. So Trish is one of our new advisors here at OK Student. I'm Mariana, your head of advisors, and we're talking about all the things that being an international student often comes with. So do ask us any questions you might have on the comments below. Fill in our form at okstudent.co.uk/form if you want to apply for a chosen university in the UK. And yeah, we have a question here from Sarf that we might as well respond in the meanwhile, because we were talking about the offline-online transition earlier, and if we were excited about going back to campus and everything. So how do you think this is going to be when universities start opening?
I think it's going to be quite difficult maybe for people to adjust to, because it took some time to adjust to the fact that it was all online now. And then I think getting back into a normal swing of things is going to take some adjusting. But like I said earlier, I think people are looking forward to the face-to-face interactions that we haven't had for like 3 months now, March, April, May, June. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's going to be really interesting. I don't think we're going to have lecture halls until much later. I think that's still going to be online, but definitely this blended method is going to be interesting to see, and it's going to be interesting to like see how universities adapt to this as well, and to see how they evolve from this, because this is a time of great change for higher education in general, that they're adapting really, really quickly to a fully online method. So let's see how this changes the field itself in the future. Maybe we'll have more and more usage of online techniques as we go along.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I think it will be good for especially international students to actually have the campus experience and not just do everything online. So it's good that they're blending the two, at least meeting in the middle right now. Yeah.
Exactly. I think there is like a very different experience that comes from being in a university campus and being able to socialize and do all of the things that we were talking in the previous question about, like socializing and societies and doing work with people and feeling like you're accompanied through all of these things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And just being part of a new community as well, because I think that's part of the package that comes with being an international student, joining a new community and seeing how you fit in, and if you want to, how you can adapt that to your community back home, that sort of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I want to answer another question that we have here from Maynul. And Maynul is asking us what our top tips for freshers are. Trish, go ahead.
Does he mean freshers as in freshers week, or like freshers as in first years?
I think we can do both. What are your tips for first year students, and what are your tips for surviving freshers week?
Okay, so for first year students, I would say, this sounds so cheesy as well, but I would just say, remember that it's no longer high school, so you can really be yourself and you can meet people that are like you. Like, I feel like in high school, you probably had to fit in particular boxes, but uni's not like that at all. It's just an open, free for all, like.
Exactly.
Yeah. So just
exactly, like you'll find like your group no matter what. And like I had so many friends during my undergraduate who were just from like different courses. Like one of my friends was from philosophy, like two others were from like animal behavior, and I'm from media studies. Like we had people from engineering, and it was just because we met each other in like parties or events, and we ended up getting along really well. But we had like absolutely no classes in common, and I feel like that was the best thing, was just like finding your pack without it being like measured by who's in the same class.
Exactly. And then top tips for Freshers Week. I'm trying to remember because, like I said, I missed my Freshers Week because I was 2 weeks late to uni.
No.
But I did study a course before for a year, well, 2 years, but I left in my second year. So I've been to Freshers Week twice before. And I would say that my advice is just pace yourself and know what you can handle. You don't have to go to everything, even if all your flatmates are going to everything. But if you know that you don't have that stamina, then just honestly, I would say just plan the events you want to go to and don't feel any pressure to go to everything. Pacing yourself will help you in the week after that when everyone's like off sick.
I've got freshers flu suddenly.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. I just want to quickly also explain what Freshers Week is. Basically, Freshers Week is like this 1 week event where universities set up a societies fair and they set up a series of parties, especially for students to socialize with other students and to get accustomed to like living in the university. I definitely agree with you with like the pace yourself thing. It's so important. I didn't go to a single party in Freshers Week because I was just doing a bunch of other stuff. I was like getting a job. I was getting a house. Like I did not have time to like do that. I just went to the societies fair, and that's where I like met a bunch of societies that really interest me. And yeah, and just used like all the other events to meet people. I actually met like a great friend of mine in one of my classes, and she was the one who introduced me to everyone. She like took me by the hand and like, okay, you're gonna meet people now. And I was like, yay, thank you.
Yeah.
Great. I'm so glad I found you. So definitely for fresher student as well is like, if you don't have patience to like go to these events and you're a bit introverted like me, find someone who's really extroverted, make friends with them, and they will introduce you to people.
That's
fine.
That's true, yeah. I feel like you start coming out of your shell quite easily as well at uni, because I was a bit of an in-betweener. I was extroverted around people that I already knew, and then slightly introverted really. But then after changing course as well and just doing some work experience, I've become a bit more extroverted to fit in the whole marketing box. Because you can't be too introverted and be into marketing.
Yeah, that's also true.
So yeah, when I did start uni, Freshers Week, I realized that I have to just put myself out there, even if you just speak to one person. Like you said, that one person could be the one that ends up introducing you to all your friends.
Exactly. And I feel like that's the thing is like, you said earlier as well that one of the big things about culture shock is like that about overcoming culture shock is trying to meet people who are outside of your culture, outside of your comfort zone, and trying to like push yourself to like get to know these people. And that's really good because that will introduce you to so many like brand new ways of looking at the world and so many new people that you will like, it will help you so much with like homesickness. It'll help you with your culture shock. It'll help you understand others better. And it's really like the best tip that we can give you.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. Yeah. Any other tips? I would say don't waste all your money in the first week. I would say budgeting is really important because it's like most of us, it's the first time that we've been away from home. And the first time you probably aren't relying on your parents to give you like pocket money every week. So let's say you get student loan, or if your parents have given you a lump sum of money to pay rent, get food, I would say budget as soon as you get that money before you spend it. Because, oh my God.
That's so easy to do as well.
Yeah.
Even when you're like working, it's so easy. If you don't have a budget and if you don't have a way to like save that money, then it's all going to disappear. We're going to have actually with OK Student, we're going to have like webinars for our students, for our enrolled students. And one of our webinars is going to be exactly about how to construct a budget and how to like make it work for you. Because I feel like sometimes we put a lot of things on like, we put a lot of fun on the budget pyramid and we forget that we need to pay rent and food before we can get to like the fun stuff.
Exactly. I feel like as well, some people will be like, okay, I've covered for rent, and then they forget about food completely. And you're like at week 3 and you're calling your mum like, I need to come home and do laundry if you can even do that. Or I need money for laundry and food. And it's only week 3. So
Oh my God, I can recognize myself in those words. Mom, can I get a bit more money because I ran out? I'm
I
sorry.
know. Gosh, yeah. So don't make those mistakes because we've all made them, and this is your warning.
Exactly. We're here because we've made some mistakes, and now we're telling you, like, do not make the same ones. Make new mistakes. That's the point.
Exactly.
That's the thing. It's like I feel that freshers, and I feel that like the first year in itself is such a confusing time because you're just like learning how to do all of these things. You're learning how to take care of yourself and cook and like clean and like keep your space kind of tidy. And like I'm 28 now, and I feel like I haven't got those things down. So I imagine like when I was 18, it was just a full-on mess.
Oh God. I can relate to that as well.
It's like it's really really difficult, and don't beat yourself up. I feel like this is a really good tip for freshers as well, is like don't beat yourself up if you can't do something, or if you're struggling a bit, or if you feel like you're not adulting correctly, because like it is your first try at it. We're still here, we're still trying, and we've been at it for a few years.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. Don't beat yourself up. And there's always people that can help you as well with stuff. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say thank you to Mino for giving us this great question that is like just made us talk about freshers.
Yeah.
I want to thank everyone who's been asking all these questions. It's really nice. Thank you to everyone who's listening to us and viewing us on Facebook and YouTube. My name is Mariana. I'm head of advisors for OK Student. And here with me, I have
Trish, a new advisor at OK Student.
Trish has just started with us. You're actually going to start your training at the end of this month, so that's going to be really fun. Yes, we have a new question here from Al Lopez, asking if they can sponsor their son's study here in the UK. So, what I would say to this is that this does depend on like where you're from, but I think you'd be able to sponsor from any country. So basically what I would recommend is really just fill in our form at okstudent.co.uk/form so that we can inform you better and see where your son could study, which is the perfect university for him, in the perfect city, in the perfect course, so we can get him here to study.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we have another question here from Dina, Immortal Dina. Thank you. And hi, can students still apply for this September? I think this question really relates to the one we just replied to. And definitely you're still able to apply. Trish is here to help you alongside this side. Trish is here to help you. As well as all of our other advisors to be able to apply for and start your course this September. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun year in the UK. So like, please come over.
Yeah. Exactly. Everyone getting used to normal kind of life. The new normal. I keep seeing that everywhere. The new normal.
Exactly. I have like a housemate who won't stop saying the new normal. I'm over that sentence now. This is the new abnormal. I don't.
Yeah.
This is the new weird.
I know. It's gonna be like a culture shock for everyone going back outside again.
Oh yeah, completely.
Yeah.
It's going to be quite interesting to see. We had someone in the team recently say that their driving has gotten a lot worse since the lockdown because there were no cars on the street, and now suddenly there are cars again. And he was like, "Oh my God, what do I do?"
How do I relate to these other drivers?
Exactly. And just like the other day, I went to the park and I was sitting with friends, and I was like, "Oh, do we need to keep distance? Do we not? Like, what? Can I hug you if I like put my face to the side? Should we not do that?
Oh dear. I actually haven't thought about the hugging yet. We went to see family last week, Wednesday, when they said you can now visit in groups of 6
Oh, wow.
or family friends. And when we walked in, we were like, do we hug? Do we not hug? And then we all ate our meal like socially distanced.
Oh my God, that
So
sounds
weird.
it sounds like a scene from a movie, honestly.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can imagine is like how cinematographic that
Mhm.
is. It's like a Wes Anderson picture in like Technicolor and super like symmetric things.
Definitely. It's all a movie. This whole year has been a movie, definitely.
Yes. All right. So we have a few other questions here that I want to answer that we've had here for a while now. So Milena asked us if it's easy getting used to living in a new country.
Ooh.
Do you want to take that one?
I wouldn't say it's easy. No.
There we go. That's exactly it.
It's not easy, no. But it's exciting. I'm gonna just be repeating myself. If you embrace it, then you are gonna find it easier, even though it's a difficult thing for everybody, I would say. But if you just know that this is the point that you're at, and you just need to really make the most of the opportunity because you might never get it again, and just learn new things that you never learned before. Try and be open-minded to understand the new culture that you're in. That will ease the entry into the country, I feel, but it won't be easy. I would be lying if I said it would be easy.
I fully agree. I think that moving and living in a new country is a lot of things, but easy is not one of them. But it
Mhm.
is definitely something that is worth doing if you want to push yourself, if you want to like get out of your comfort zone, if you want to expand your horizons. It's really important as well, I feel, because like coming to the UK as an undergraduate has given me so much confidence in moving to other countries and in doing things like completely outside of my comfort zone in general. um,
Yeah,
yeah, it's really a worthwhile experience, I feel. Like,
definitely.
what do you feel like you gained from like coming to the UK and studying here, and like because you're like in 50-50 in the culture side,
Yeah.
so like I feel like we talked about this already, but it is like you must have gained like so much from this.
Yeah, I have really learned a lot, and not just about what's like missing in my own country that I could possibly add to. But I just think being able to network with this number of multiculturalness, is that a word? Like a huge culture mix, being able to network with different people has been a great thing for me personally, because you can always learn things from people. That's what I think. And I think
Exactly.
the UK educational system has helped me with that. Yeah. And
Yeah.
again, in terms of opportunities, like I said before, like here we can interact with quite a lot of companies that come to graduate fairs, people giving talks in our unis, like guest lectures that we have at our unis, society, sports. You can literally, the world is your oyster, I would say here. Yeah, it just opens up your horizons to different things, which is beneficial. Yeah.
I think that's definitely so true with like the world is your oyster here and you can do like what you want with your time.
Mhm.
And with like with yourself in the end, you can learn so many new things, you can find so many new people and just like be in contact with the so many new cultures. Sorry, because I was thinking about the number of international students that come into the UK every year, and it's abysmal. It's so many students from so many different nationalities
Yeah,
that you will find so many new things about the world that you didn't know before.
exactly.
And you'll have a sofa in so many new countries.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
That's such a good benefit from like studying abroad.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Especially if you're a wanderlustful person like me.
Exactly. If you really like to travel, definitely make friends in like multiple countries. Man, get a scratch map of like the world and like fill in where you've got friends. Like, why not? So later on, you can like get that room or that sofa.
Yeah, exactly. And just also knowing that you're not like alone completely in a country that you go to, a new country. Just feel like I know someone, even if they're like in Barcelona and you've gone to visit Madrid or something, but just that knowing that I know someone here is
Exactly. I know someone in this country, and if I need help, then they can get me out quickly.
exactly, yeah.
I get that. All right. So Artyom here. Hi, Artyom. Thank you so much for your question. Is asking if you had a part-time job while at uni, and if so, if you had any problems finding one. Do you have the 20-hour cap? I don't think you do you?
I do actually.
Oh,
'Cause I'm a student, so I have that. But in the summer, I don't have that cap.
oh,
So I'm
cool.
not sure if international students have that in the summer
Yeah.
as well. Okay, yeah. So I haven't actually had trouble getting a job at uni. Like I said before, I was a student mentor last year, so I would just normally check at the start of the school year the intranet job
Hmm.
job market job
Like
ads.
the employability
Yeah,
office and like,
exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
I'll check within the uni because I feel like it's easier for me personally to work within the uni.
Yeah.
So I checked their website and I found that they were hiring, so I applied. But the year before, I was working for this like catering company, and it just sent us to different places in Nottingham and Derby, where we'd work as either waitresses or waiters or bar staff. And that was helpful because it was really flexible, so you could just do shifts when and if you wanted, and around your uni schedule. So I think it's not difficult to get a part-time job if you look for one as a
I
student.
was I was gonna ask, like, because I did something similar. That's like agency work where you just like get subcontracted to like work these different events.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that I think that's quite like a good kind of a good like job if you're not dependent on the money and if you want like flexibility above
yeah,
all. That's definitely
exactly.
really good. Or if you need a job really fast and you just want to get like any
Mhm.
sort of job to begin with, and then you intend to like continue looking, do
Yeah.
register with a catering agency or a like
Mhm.
temporary job agency, because they'll find you stuff that won't take too long and that will pay relatively well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. They hire a lot of international students. Actually, the company that I worked for was all mixed. So it's not like you have to start again in terms of getting used to somewhere because it's already quite international. Yeah.
Exactly. I really feel like, especially in like cities, I because this is my experience as well. In like cities who are like really touristic or that have a lot of events going on, you'll always have that sort of thing. And like in cities like Cambridge and Oxford, you have like such a huge advantage because all of the colleges have their own catering team. And
Wow.
that's where I worked for 3 years. I worked for like
Oh,
Cambridge University with one of their colleges for one of their catering teams. And that
cool.
was like so flexible because not only it's like uni job, so they understand that you're also at uni, but
Yeah.
it's also like really flexible. You can come in, trade shifts with whoever you want, like pick up as many shifts as you want. And this is the sort of thing that you can do on like a really flexible basis. And that
Yeah.
will give you like a kind of stable income depending on how much you're willing to work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. I think the key thing is just to look and apply, and you will get something.
exactly. How did you find your agency job? Did you find it for uni or did you find it online?
I had been looking online and it was suggested every now and then, but I never applied for it because I just didn't really trust it. And
Yeah,
then um, a few weeks after, I think I'd stopped applying for jobs now because I was like, I'll just wait until I settle, make friends at uni and stuff. But then someone in my class told me about it, and they just gave me the website link, and all I had to do was just sign up, put in my CV and names for references. And the following week, they'd already checked everything, and I literally just went in for a day training, and then I started working straight away. So it was a really quick process. But yeah, I
exactly.
heard about it through my friend.
Yeah, it's Yeah, I think that's exactly it. It's like so easy to go through that process that if you're like looking for a job and you really want one fast, it's like, as you just said, the process super easy, super fast. So it is quite a good alternative. And then
Yeah.
like, how did you find out about the student mentor and the employability shop at NTU?
So I think it was one of my seminars or lectures. Someone had come in to tell us about some extracurricular opportunities that we had at our uni. So at the end of it, they mentioned that if we weren't interested in that particular one, there is a job shop where we can go on and see, and it's part of the employability like online web page. So on there you can find either placement opportunities, you find part-time jobs, you find things that are just going on around the uni that maybe you can volunteer at as well, depending on what you're looking for. So once I knew about that website, I just kept checking it, and I think they were updating jobs. I think they update them every day really, because it's also jobs that are outside of uni. Like shop jobs, maybe, for example, JD, and they might advertise through the uni, so it shows up on that website as well, or restaurants, different things, really.
Yeah, I mean, we put up our placements at the employability webpage for NTU as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so you can find like loads of things on there. Every university has one of these as well. So it's not an exclusive trait of our universities. It's definitely something you can find. If you're having trouble with finding a job, you can go to the employability office in your university, ask for help in like improving your CV, ask for help in how you search for all of these things, and they do make your life so much
Yeah,
easier. Yeah.
they
So
do.
thank you so much, Artyom, for your question. This has been a great question to answer. And yeah, you're here, you're live at the Q&A with OK Student. My name is Mariana, and I'm here today with
Trish, and I'm a new
Yay.
advisor, okay, student.
Very excited about starting, and we're just basically starting you off with a live because why not, you know?
Straight in the deep end.
I am very happy to be back on these lives. I know that last week we had Lokesh on, and I hope that he had a great time because the live went great as well. But I am really happy to have our Thursday at 2 p.m. Slot back. And Lokesh is actually asking us, what benefits does OK Student offer to students?
Ooh.
So, do you want me to take it or do you want to take it?
One that I've noticed that I've probably already said is the fact that everyone giving you advice has direct experience from being at a UK university. They have direct experience with the application, with the cultural changes, and because there's people from different countries, we can relate to like regional cultures as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think that's really important that you have someone who knows exactly what you are going through or are going to go through, because they've experienced it.
Exactly. So it's for students, by students, definitely. We're all like, I'm not going to be anymore, or better, I am going to be in still because I'm a master's student and I need to finish my thesis still. But we are, most of us, all students, and all of our advisor team is comprised of students. So they know exactly what students are going through and
Yeah.
can help directly. I think that like one of the main benefits for me, and this was something that Joanna said last time she was on the live with me, where we were chatting about this exact thing. And that's one of the things that I felt when I joined OK Student was that if I had OK Student when I was going to university, my life would have been so much easier. It's like I wouldn't have made the mistakes that I made. I would have selected the right bank account because I would have had a webinar to like help me select a bank account and tell me what to look out for. Like I would have chosen different accommodation because I would have had someone like point me to like the right choices.
Yeah.
I would have potentially applied somewhere different as well, although I am really happy with my degree. I would have potentially applied to other universities, made like different choices. I don't know. It's just really, really beneficial to have someone to help you through like this like process of application. and this process of like changing your life into being a university student and working and like taking your course and all of these things and taking care of yourself in the middle of all of that.
Yeah, I completely agree with everything that you just said, literally. Especially because at OK Student, we personalize it for everybody. So if you're a city girl or a country girl, boy, whatever, you can literally just tell your advisor, this is what you like, and they'll try and fit whatever it is that you like around you specifically. So if I had had that as well, even as a home student, applying as a home student, that would have saved me, like I said before, like doing a year of a course that I did not enjoy at all in a random city, that type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. I feel that like location is so important, because if you come from a major city and you suddenly see yourself in like a rural environment, that can be really complicated for people to deal with, because they're not used to like the silence at night, for example, or the low light or things like this. And it's just like such a big adaptation to do, that it's like there's so many adaptations already to do when you start university. Why should you put even more adaptation onto you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really important. Well, for me, this is like the main benefit of having OK Student, is having one, for students by students, and secondly, having someone that actually helps you make the decisions and gives you all of the knowledge to like make the best decisions possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Lokesh, for your great question. We have a question from Sarf that's really interesting about, can you ask a student, can you help a student if the entry requirements are not completely met for a course? Difficult question.
Yeah.
I think that this is a case-by-case problem, and it really depends on like your specific case. So, for example, if you don't fit the entry requirements for a master's, but you have a lot of experience in the field, this might be something that we can leverage onto the university and say like, okay, this person doesn't have the grades, but they have loads of experience. If you write a really good personal statement, that can also outweigh this. If you have volunteering experience, if you have like projects and awards that you've won, these can be things that will like improve your general aspect and will compensate a bit for your grades. But if you don't have any of these things, we definitely cannot do anything, unfortunately. Oh, sorry. So this goes back to what we were talking about in like extracurriculars and do better, like putting in as much effort as possible to getting as much as possible from this experience, because the more you put in and the more things you're involved with, the better your CV is going to look, the better your profile is going to look. And it's just going to be like such a good general thing for you to do. Yeah. I think this is like my answer to this. Do you want to add anything?
I think that's what I would have said. Really, if I'd answered that. Same.
You'll also learn all of this and like how to analyze like good CVs and how to look at portfolios, because I'm going to teach you all of that over the next few months.
Fun.
Of like how we can like best advise students that don't have the entry requirements. How can we best advise them to like beef up all of their other qualifications and all of their other skills and achievements in order to look good for a university, and to prove that they can do their courses and that they can like achieve the levels that are required from them. But it also takes a lot of dedication from the student, and that's the main thing I feel is like you need to be dedicated to doing this course right, because if you don't have the entry requirements, then you are going to have to put in a bit more effort, not only during your application but also during your course. So it's a matter of dedication.
Exactly. I would just add actually as well that the universities do take into account what you've done before. So like I said, I did biomedical sciences before this. So when I applied for my business and marketing, I had never done the last time I did business was like GCSE. And my A levels were all science based. I had no really relevant experience, but they looked at some work that I'd done after that, and they also looked at my so I got a certificate of higher education for completing the first year of biomed, And even though that's completely unrelated, they took that on board as well. So they do look, like you said, at each individual case, but you have to have some sort of evidence that shows that you have put in effort in other places.
Exactly. And then at the same time, I completely forgot to mention it. We are entering clearing as well on the 30th of June. So I think from the 4th of July, we can start doing applications on clearing. And that slightly lowers the entry requirements. So if you haven't met the entry requirements, then maybe during clearing, we'll be able to get you a place. If you are in this situation, please fill in our form at okstudent.co.uk/form so that we can best advise you with your specific situation on what we can do to get you to a really good university in a really good city and that you're happy with your course. All right, we have another question from Helena. Hi, Helena. Elena is asking if there are any scholarships available for studying in the UK. So, scholarships normally do close in May, but there are a few that are still open. But if we're talking for next year, then there are many scholarships that we can apply you for, depending on your grades, on your country as well, on your specific field or area, on your master's, on your research, if you're trying to do a PhD or an MRes. So there is a lot of things. We have a specialist, a scholarship specialist who's actually doing a training for our advisors soon about scholarships, so we can better advise you on that as well. But definitely talk to us about your specific case. Send us a message through okstudent.co.uk/form so we can best advise in all of the scholarships that we still have available or that will be available for next year. Have you ever applied for a scholarship, Trish?
No, I haven't actually. I feel like maybe I should have believed in myself more and applied for one or something, like an academic excellence one or something. No,
we only do that. It's like a self-esteem thing almost. It's like we only realize how good we are after a few years, and then it's like, oh, I could have gotten that.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know.
Trust in yourself. Apply for all the scholarships. The worst thing that can happen is you getting a no.
Yeah, exactly. And they base them on all different kinds of things. It's not just like academic achievement. I remember our scholarship expert mentioning as well that there's an essay that they might ask you to write sometimes, and they can base it just on that as well. It's all different things that they look for. Yeah.
Exactly. And you have that's like project-based scholarship type thing where you just say like what you'd like to do, and then they decide if they can attribute the scholarship to you or not. There's also athletic scholarship. So if you're an athlete, if you've competed nationally, or if you're a European athlete, if you've competed in the continent, if you've represented like your country, all of these things, there are also a lot of scholarships that are available for this kind of students. So definitely do contact us to find out how you can actually apply for these and what you can get if you're an international or a European student. Trish, I really enjoyed this conversation. Do you have any other topic you want to talk about? We didn't go into the transfers thing because we didn't have a time.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Next time.
Because Trish here is a course transfer expert where she has changed her course multiple times now.
Yeah, exactly. So if you need any help with that, or you're worried that with student finance stuff, or even just starting a completely new course all over again, changing unis, changing cities, all of that, I am literally an expert. But it's all just come from having a really good support network and just accessing that as well. So if I tried to do everything by myself, it would not have worked. But just reaching out to either tutors, student advisory center, parents, even if they don't know the system, they can just give you some moral support, and not feeling like you have to explain yourself to anyone either, because if you're not enjoying something, it's not worth the investment, in my opinion. If you just don't see yourself working in a specific area, if it's rigid that way, or if you don't see it leading to anywhere else, then I would just recommend seeing what you can do about that, but staying in school.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's definitely one of the biggest things is like if you haven't, or better, if you're not enjoying your course, if you can't see yourself working in the field, don't continue it. Like, come to us. We'll help you swap your course and we'll help you like get a new start, because it is really common that, I mean, we're 18 when we choose our courses, or 19. Yeah. We don't really know what we want to be doing. And it is really, really easy to just like make the wrong choice and feel like you're trapped into it after a while.
Exactly, yeah. And sometimes you need a break. Maybe you've started your course and you've just finished your first year, or you're maybe starting another year, but you just need time off. We can help you with that as well. Just sort out getting you out for the year, taking like what is it called? Like a gap year in between your studies.
Yeah.
For health reasons or whatever it is, that you just need a break and then you come back to finish your course the year after.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Trish, for this awesome conversation. Thank you to everyone who's been listening and seeing us on Facebook and YouTube. I want to say that you can contact us through this email right here, info@okstudent.co.uk, or at okstudent.co.uk/form if you want to apply. We have, we're present on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube, and Medium. So if you want to follow us on any of those platforms, we will bring you the latest news, and Twitter. I forget about Twitter because I don't use it myself. So I'm like, what is Twitter anyway? But it is really important. We are bringing you the latest news about higher education. We are bringing you tips for all of our international students who are looking to study in the UK. We still have our worldwide 100 challenge going on. So if you want to write an article for us, we are looking for guest writers of different nationalities who want to talk about their experience in the UK. So let us know. Trish, it was great. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.
Guys.